Step one, to take yourself out of the struggle, you got to acquire some skills, baby. You got to get skillful. Skills create opportunities. They just do. Skills generate wealth. They provide service. Some general skills are like being able to be a handyman, having great with hands, being a DJ, a teacher, a sports trainer, like having skills, man. This is a cliche and people have heard it all the time. Got the skills to pay the bills. Hello. All right, here we go. We back with another one, man. And this one's I feel is good. But first, let's make sure I make the introduction. This is the Spoken One podcast with your host, Zaire Speaks. A podcast that is about wisdom, it's about growth, it's about understanding, it's about seeing a black man thrive, it's about seeing people, just overcome and achieve things that they need to do, turning away from all the things that we may have, experienced in the past, but being able to move towards our true passions and our true future. That's what this pod is about. So we got another one today. And I got some food for thought for you before I jump right into it, right? So this is some food for thought. This is something that we all have to go through, right? It's something that, that we're not going to be able to avoid. It's going to happen. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. It's inevitable. It's like the sun is gonna shine. It's coming out. Like, we can't stop it as people. But as Black Americans, the question that is up for debate is this: do we still have to struggle? Do we still have to struggle? Do we still have to think of all the things, right? All the monikers that we have been through, all the moments. Black America, I'm asking the question, like, do we still have to struggle? Do we still have to go through the things that mama went through? Do we still have to go through the things that grandma went through, granddad, pops? Do we have to still have to struggle? And for me, this might blow some people's minds, but I say no. I say we ain't got to struggle no more. That's just my thought. That's me. I say no. And so if not, how do we move ourselves from it? Because this thing ain't turning around, as we can see. Everybody hadn't caught up to the party. Everybody hadn't made it to the show. So the question is, how can we as African Americans turn this thing around? What can we do? Why are we still here in this new age, age of growth, digital, digital, everything is at an all-time high. We see the AI is just like taking over, right? The stuff that was like, you saw it in a movie, you was like, that'd be cool, but now it look like iRobot might be on his way. You know what I mean? So, but in terms of struggle, let's just stick with the biggest thing about, do we still have to struggle? Do we have to still struggle? And I say we can remove ourselves from it. And this is how. So this is step one. As I sat back and I thought about this, and I was like, why are African Americans still struggling? What are some things we can do to get away from it? How can we separate ourselves? So this is step one for me. Step one, to take yourself out of the struggle, you got to acquire some skills, baby. You got to get skillful. Skills create opportunities. They just do. Skills generate wealth. They provide service. Some general skills are like being able to be a handyman, having great with hands, being a DJ, a teacher, a sports trainer, like having skills, man. This is a cliche and people have heard it all the time. Got the skills to pay the bills. Hello? They didn't lie about it. You got the skills to pay the bills. When you have skills, they pay the bills, right? Think about it. The most skillful person, what do they get to do? They get all of the shine. They're the ones that's standing out there. They're the ones that get the most playing time in sports. Got the most skill. Got the skill to pay the bills. The skills are what generate the opportunities. If you ain't got no skills, you gonna struggle a little bit. So You can create a program. Like I said, be a referee. I actually started being a referee myself. And for those of y'all who don't know me, I'm also a teacher and a coach. I'm an educator and a coach. It's been almost about 10 years doing this. But refereeing is, it's a pretty good skill, and it pays, it's good side money. So anybody who's thinking about doing it, to be able to help, whether it be a brother or a sister or somebody in your family, you might want to look into it. It's something that's really, really good, really lucrative. So I would check it out. Another skill that you can do. Pick up trades. Trades ain't going nowhere. Driving, right? Being able to weld, being a plumber. Like these things, these are problems that you can fix with people that ain't going nowhere no time soon, right? Somebody gonna break something and you gonna need to fix it. The AC gonna go out. You can be there to fix it. There's so many things that we can do instead of sitting on the sidelines always complaining. Acquire skills. When you provide a good and service, right? People love your quality. They're gonna keep coming back to you. So you don't have to struggle. That's step number one for me. Number two is a big deal, and I think it's something we don't do enough of. And it's because it's just not heavily indulged and encouraged within our culture, but we gotta do it more, man. We gotta read, and then we gotta apply what we read. I'm gonna say that again. We have to read, and we got to apply what it is we reading. Reading is null and void, especially when it comes to informational text, if you ain't going to do something about it. There's no point of sitting there gaining and obtaining knowledge that people give you that are set forth to be able to make you be able to move into a different direction. You don't apply it. You need to obtain knowledge because it's everything. Everything that you want to do is based around knowledge. It's everything. The more knowledgeable you are about something, the easier it becomes to you. And the easier it becomes to you, the more doors that will be open. The more you know, the more you generate. It's just that simple. The more you know, the more you're going to generate. The more you know, you're going to generate. And, master your field of expertise, whatever it is you may do. If nowadays you see, let me just take it back to something simple. So like whenever I was a kid, everybody mowed grass, right? So I didn't mow grass because my allergies was bad and I ain't gonna be out there, But let's just stick with the example. You mow grass, right? All right, all the kids in the neighborhood would do it. All right, you make it $10, you're good. Somebody decided to master it. And when that person decided to master being able to do landscaping and lawn services, they created a business out of it. And now that business is generating a lot of money. So when they create a business for it, now that it's a business, they're able to be able to hire workers. They're now to be able to, buy vehicles that can transport these workers to the different parts of the city to be able to do this. And now that it's a business, they can obtain contracts. And this all started with acquiring one little small skill that they learned when they were just a teenager. But along the way, they acquired more skills. And you acquire more skills by becoming more knowledgeable. The more you know, the more you generate. So being able to, when you figured out what it is that you want to do, understand it to the T and apply all the knowledge that you obtained in. Because when you start to generate a lot, somebody's, the universe, God's going to send somebody your way that's going to help you be able to move forward. Going to help you take another step, be able to move in a direction that you didn't know that you can move in. And that person is going to give you an idea. And it's up to you to make a decision with it. It's up to you to change this little small fraction of what you're making and to take it to a new area. So we talking about struggle, all right? So the first thing I said is that we got to acquire skills. That's number one. We got to acquire some skills. Okay, now we got skills. And then number two, once I realize what it is that I want to do, I need to read up on it and apply it. So I need to become more knowledgeable about it because knowledge is everything. And the more that I know, the more I'll generate, right? And understand what it is that I'm doing to the T and apply all the knowledge that's attained. So then there's one last step to do it. You got to surround yourself with more teachers. But What? I got the skills. I've been reading and applying. What do you mean surround myself with teachers? Yeah. Being trained will give you gains. When you become more trained in your field of expertise, whatever it is that you, like I said, whatever it is that you want to do, it gains you more. Right? If you're always the teacher, what do you learn? If you're not acquiring knowledge is going to be there until the day that we go. It is not something that we have the luxury and the ability to just walk away from. Excuse me. Knowledge is going to be there. So, if I'm always the teacher, what am I learning? You need to be led and instructed, just like everybody else. You need to be mentored, because the day that you feel like you know everything, what's the point of being here? If you're all knowing, you know everything. You're so proud of what you've done. You can't even listen to other people, and that's how you'll mess around and turn yourself back into that same thing we trying to lead. Struggle. You need more teachers. You need to be challenged. The brain needs it. It needs challenges. It doesn't need someone who's just going to tell it something to make it feel good all the time. It need more challenges. So you got to surround yourself with teachers. So let's review. What are our 3 steps to being able to walk away from struggle? Number 1, we got to acquire some skills. Like I said, skills create opportunities. They generate wealth. Okay, you know that now. Read up and apply about what are the things that I feel skillful about. Do some research, right? Obtain more knowledge. The more that I know, the more that I generate. And then 3, surround myself with some people who can teach me how to take what it is that I can do further. Be mentored, be challenged, understand how can I get better at this, right? Like how I'm able to sit here and talk. I didn't just learn how to do this. This took time. Right? I was taught this. Somebody showed me. I always had a little bit of confidence to be in front of people or a camera or something that doesn't shake me. I believe in what I am. I have a skill. But the other thing is that someone had to teach me confidence in how to read a room and how to understand the room. Look for the soft spots, right? Look for the spots to where you can thrive in. Someone had to teach me tone. Someone had to show me in public speaking what it is that you need to do. I had to learn, and I'm still learning today. I watch people all the time, looking at how they do this. All right, what's his process? What's her process? Look at how they're struggling in the room. Look at how they're thriving in this room. Like what little bits and pieces can I get from this? I keep reading and applying, keep researching and going for it. And you know, we live in a time, right, where we can have things, we can live better, and we let's see, we have a level of ascension within ourselves. Like we have that level. So do not let life happen to the point to where you haven't done anything, right? Like you find yourself like, man, I'm still just in this rat race. I'm still just running this circle. Like find a skill. Find something that you like. Find something that you love and that you can master it. And once you master it and you take it to a new level, take it to a place to where it hasn't been, take it to a place where you haven't been. And then, and only then, you shall be the master. I just play. That's one of my favorite movies, The Last Dragon. I don't know if y'all ever seen that, but I love that movie, man. When Bruce Leroy was going back through his thoughts, he's sitting there getting drowned by show enough, and then it come back to him and the master and him and his teacher, and he's like, "It is there, only there." So, but he right though, man. That's everything that Bruce Leroy was searching in The Last Dragon was in his brain. It's so funny, but I mean, I digress. But still, man, that's when we'll be the master. And once we acquire what it is that we're looking at, we won't be in this cycle. So I ask again, with all that we've talked about and all that we've touched on, do we still have to struggle? Do we have to struggle? So think about the steps make them applicable to your life, and move forward. So that's what it is today, and I'm out, y'all. Speaks.